Hey guys, it's Ruby and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're inviting you to join us for an evening with the Hugheses. This is going to be a jam-packed, filled evening with lots of demos. We've got a shopping village, we've got a raffle tickets. This is going to be super duper fun. We've got demos ranging from young horses, training the eventers, how we start with the youth riders, all the way up to then of course the PSG and my dad riding the Grand Prix with Lufada. It's going to be super duper fun, and come join us. People are starting to get seated. I'm going to go off and run and grab a hog roast because I'm starving, and yeah. I feel like we're back with the A-team. Yeah. We've got Claire, we've got the whip holder Sheila, we've got Becky G.
I've been upgraded
to rider. I've been downgraded to groom. Hi.
Thank you.
You're so excited. Your little fluffy ears. Yes. Be good. Good girl. Well, when is she not good?
She's just adorable.
Sheila's nailed it once again. Never does she let us down. It's now time for the young horse session. My mum is riding Bunny, who's owned by Claire White from Bromson Stud, and Eddie is riding Popcorn, who's owned by an American client who has him in at training at Classic. And yeah, they're starting us off with this evening.
Paramount in that, but what makes it a Grand Prix horse is, of course, it's willing to be trained. And that's what we're looking for when we start. We want to start with, and you can see both these horses, they're both leg in each corner, they're quite white nature, they're quite naturally closed. You know, so we're sort of starting off almost at the start line, where their balance, their natural balance is fairly close to what we want. You know, if you look at both of them, and you can see with the pairing as well, it's lovely natural shape, lovely natural uphill, and it just makes life a little bit easier to start. Eddie, could you stay in front now, please? Now, what we do at 5, we start to introduce the beginnings of where we're going to go. So, we utilise our riding trot. What we want to be able to do is, as they get stronger, is introduce the setting a little bit. And when you introduce this, you think rising for leg speed. So, Eddie, we want to go a little bit more working together, and we want to just walk forward. And all transitions on the young horses are very progressive. We just want them to look to what we want and progress them forward. And now we're going to trot. And then we're going to do a circle. And what we do on one rein, we have to do on the other. And what we're looking for, again, from a young horse, is every movement you're going to do comes from one of these legs. So we use the circle line to bind it, and now go rising. And then we test them on a straight line. And if we can hold one trot on a circle line and one trot on a straight line, that means, now go rising again, that means they're ready for the next question. And with the young horses, it's their leg heel and then shoulder in. And so every time they feel that they're secure in the question, we drip feed the next question. And now go large. And we're going to go left. Good. So, frame again, we want them round enough they're in a shape. And then as soon as they drop into a shape, we want to think about sitting back and riding them more uphill. So Rebecca, you're going to continue around in a circle, and we're going to go large. Good, because it's our job to set them up for the future. It's our job to put them into a balance, into a frame, that as they're developing their muscle memory and their strength, they're developing in a way we want to develop. Good, and then you're going to circle in. Therese competed at Tokyo Olympics on another horse on this one. I've been helping Therese for several years now. What we thought we'd do is bring her into the show.
So next in is Therese. She's an Olympic event rider who competes for Sweden, and she is doing the training of the event horse.
I want them to learn that if we set you at this tempo, they stay there until we change it. Now go forward slightly, and now she's got to hold that until we change it. If you change So riding transitions within the pace keep horse together, but if you change them before they, or work between them before they can hold each one individually, it becomes confusing. So we want them to learn to sit in whatever canter is, then whatever canter you ask them to go into. Good, and now I want you to go large. And I can to everything, I can play with the tempo a little bit, which means I can start to kick canters. So Therese, I want you from the corner, I want you to half pass to the centre line. And I just want you to keep the half pass quite open. So what we start with the half pass as an exercise. So it's the half pass, we have a line easier than the competition line, and it's an exercise to change balance, suppleness, and do they understand what we want? So if they're questioning this, we make the line easier. If she's questioning the line, if she's questioning the positioning, if she's questioning the canter, we make the line easier.
So we're now here with Belle and India, my students, ready for the demo section on developing a youth rider. Belle, how old are you and who are you riding?
I'm 10 and I'm riding Mushroom.
And India, how old are you and who are you riding?
I'm 12 and I'm riding Toti.
Amazing. I've got my piece of paper to make sure I remember all my points and we don't forget anything. And yeah, we're super excited. A little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Hughes. I'm the daughter of obviously my parents, Gareth and Hughes. And please excuse me, this is the first proper demo I've ever done, and half an hour is quite a long time to talk before while trying to remember everything. So I've got my little piece of paper so I can remember all my little points. So today we're here with Belle and India, and we're doing a session on developing youth riders. I've been teaching these girls now for about 3 years. Belle is 10 years old and India is 12 years old, and they're riding their ponies Mushroom and Toti. And these girls are currently working at the pony FDI level. This is about my favourite, time to be teaching the youth riders. I love introducing them into the FDI, and hopefully these girls are going to be looking at competing at the international level this year. Belle, do you want to take off your rug and then you guys can have a little stretch and warm up? With the kids, when I first start teaching them, obviously they're very small for their very tall ponies, with the pony FDI measurements being up to 148 centimetres, so these girls tend to be very small. So when I first get them, I really prioritise looking at their seat and working on position, really building up their strength. There you go guys, you can do that trot stretch, don't worry. This is also their first demo, so it's the first time for everything. So yeah, I really focus on looking at their position, making sure they really work on their sit and trot. This is also what my parents really worked on when I started riding. We work with a lot of no stirrups, which these girls will know because they go through a lot of pain. Another little trick that we use is pushing them on the lunge, taking away their stirrups, just to build up this independent seat so they're not relying on their hands. This will also allow them to have a little feel, which is really important. And this is prioritised before anything else. Early on, we also really like to focus on the accuracy. That's a massive part of dressage, as you all know. I like to think that when you do a test, you want to be working that you can get to a point where you might not have the biggest moving horse, but you're so accurate that you just can't take a mark off you. So these girls, when they go to their regionals and stuff, obviously they're on ponies, so you can't physically move as big with the horses. So I try and prioritise that they can ride a really accurate test, and lead them through this way. When I was younger, I also did a lot of vaulting. This also really helps my balance. We spend a lot of time in strength and conditioning sessions, and your balance has to be pretty good to, be standing on the horse. So yeah, more balance, more and more core strength. Another thing that we really like to work on with the girls is being able to ride in the big arena with other people. Obviously, a 20 by 60 arena can be quite intimidating for people with extra letters. So when I'm teaching at home, it's making sure that these girls feel confident riding with other people, so when they go to their competitions, they're not intimidated by, the more experienced riders, and they can take them on in a warm-up. I think in a warm-up it can be really difficult, but if you're a bit nervous, always be, always trying to ride around other people, you end up focusing on what they're doing more than what you're doing. So to have that confidence already made before you go in can set them up ahead. Then what we do, you guys want to start picking up and working a little bit on your, your lateral work, a little bit of your leg yields and your shoulder ins. So once we do that, we've developed all the correct paces. We then want to develop a bit of knowledge about building supplements and contact. So we've developed that strength, and now they're able to understand the way of going without having to rely, with not being strong enough, having to rely on their hands. So we'll start to introduce, the elementary movements, understanding what it's supposed to look like and what it's supposed to feel like. When it comes to the FEI level, it's medium. So that's introduced with the shoulder ins, the half passes, the simple changes. What I also work with a lot of my kids is getting the horses on your seat. What I want them to be able to do is to be able to collect their ponies, off their core, so they can, sit back, squeeze their core muscles a little bit, and be able to collect the ponies without using their hands. As you'll see later on, the pony movements come up very quickly, so if you don't have your ponies on the seat, it can be very difficult. Like I said earlier, these girls are very, very small on their ponies, so they're actually not really strong enough either. They're not tall enough for these ponies yet, they're still growing into them. So if their ponies are on their seat, it's going to help them a lot more to have that respect. I want them to be really harmonious with their ponies. These girls absolutely adore their ponies, and that's so important to me. But what I also want is for these kids, they're very young. Their brains naturally aren't developed as much, but they're also, again, the ages for the pony FEI ranges from the year of your 12th birthday to the year of your 16th birthday. So these girls are competing against, other people who are about 5 years older than them, which is very difficult. So it's really important, you guys have a little walk, that they're thinking, well, I'm teaching them, not that they become riders who can only be taught, They can take what they've learned and take that into the arena with them, and also take it home with them. So then, they've got to imagine that they're able to ride like these 16-year-olds. So to be able to break down that really basic thinking is super duper important. I'm their mentor, I'm their trainer. We've got to try and make it fun from a young age, because hopefully these girls have many, many years ahead of them, and that's the most important thing with the horses. You're supposed to really, really enjoy it, have fun, be in harmony with your ponies, and just have a lot of fun and just enjoy it. So my job is to be able to set these girls up, being super duper confident, and keeping it all encouraging. I also like to promote teamwork among the youth riders. Ben and India, you'll see, are absolutely best friends. While warming up, they were just having a little natter. And I always have to leave them a good 10 minutes in between lessons so they can have a little gossip. They're best friends, and I think this is really important. When you go to these big shows, naturally you're going to put a lot of pressure on yourselves. So, if it doesn't go quite that way, it can be, put you down a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you guys know when you go to a competition, it doesn't go well. It can be a little bit upsetting. So to be able to have your friends by your side is just such a great feeling. And it just makes the competition so much fun. And then I also have to coach them how to get through show day pressures and handling those nerves, like I said earlier. I like to think that, obviously, I set the girls up with their own goals before they go into the arena. What to improve on, I want the girls to feel like every test they do is getting slightly better. It doesn't matter how small that goal is, just that they can feel like they're proud of themselves for making that improvement. I also say to them that I want them to improve their way of going. Obviously, judges have different preferences. You can't control what the judges think on the day. You can't control whether or not your pony is going to scoop. You can't control the weather conditions, as we all know. And so my job is I want them to go to the arena controlling the controllables. Controlling how they run, how they're thinking, how they're setting up their movements, so this day, and I'm going to support them every single step of the way and do as much as I can do as their trainer. I'm not going to tell them they can do it, but I'm not going to tell them they can't do it. I'm going to be there to, obviously set those little steps, support them every single step of the way, and I really think they can do it. It's just giving them the time and confidence training for one day. Like I said, they're preparing for their first international, so we're going to run through a little bit of the pony FEI test. In the pony FEI test, you have the trot work, which includes trots, shoulder ins, trot half passes, and then a few of the circles, you've got your half turns. In the walk work, you've got some walk pirouettes, which these girls hate, so I don't blame them. They're the worst movements to ever exist, and I don't particularly like teaching them either. And then going into the canter work, you've got your, obviously your centre line and canter into your hold. You've got your medium canter. There's a lot of simple changes, don't worry, I'll tell you what to do, don't worry. You've got a lot of simple changes, you've got counter canter, you've got your ring retakes, and what you'll see in a minute is the movements come up really, really quickly. So these girls are super excited to show you what they've been working on. So Belle, you're going to start us off. Good. This line, and then you're going to hold to X. What we're looking for in this movement is the collection into the hold. I want it to come off Belle's seat. Super. Maintain the nice canter all the way down into the hold. Lovely, good girl. And a nice, clear, crisp transition off. Really good. Then you can't forget your borders. It's super important, when you step up to these tests and movements come up really, really quickly. You've got to intermediate trot, ask you, okay, here we go. Good. You've got to use your corners to set you up for these movements and forward. Super. There you go. Good. I'm just going to coach you through this. She's doing this test, so it's not a hard test. Good. So now bring it back a little bit out there and get ready for your forward. Set them up a little bit. Then allow them forward into your shoulder in. Yeah, lovely. Really beautiful. Good girl. Now turn your body in the half tent. Looking for your centre line. Inside leg, outside brain. Good girl. You inside leg, outside brain. Good. Now get ready for that half pass. Think about this is leading. That's okay. Good. You've got to use that inside leg drop forward. Really good girl. Super job. Then get ready for your walk transition into the corner. Straight off that half pass. Well done. And walk. Now think about your walk in between. It's really easy when you're riding test, you get to the walk and you're like, oh, thank God I've got a break. But every single movement has a mark. It's really important for me that these girls are riding their medium walks in between. Good girl, that's not too shabby. Well done, Belle. You're really putting me to shame. Now, prepare inside leg, outside brain. Think about that half hold, outside brain. Now think about riding it a little bit bigger. So for the training, a little bit bigger, little half hold. Yeah, tell everybody, little half hold again. Good girl. Super. Now, Mushroom has a really good extended walk. So it's really important for me that Belle rides this out. A good friend of mine called Alex Harrison said the walk rhythm should go to the song Jingle Bells. So these girls will be singing that throughout their whole test. Good. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Super. So that helps you tell you, when your walk's too quick or too slow. Really good. Now Belle's got her transition at F, so it's really important that she doesn't flap around. She shortens up those reins, ready for that really crisp, quick transition off her legs. Well done. And trust her. Really good. Into your corners. Now get a little bit off your leg, that's okay. Good go. Into your shoulder and a little half hold. Now allow forward, relax those legs. Good. Super. What Belle's doing, what's to work on in a minute is keeping her heels still. Mushroom can sometimes get a little bit lazy, so she finds it hard, she wants to fit in with her legs. It's really important that she's able to soften her legs movement. Belle, sense line? I don't think so. Into your half pass, come on. Good girl. Now turn your body. There you go. Inside leg, outside brain. Yeah, good girl. Drop all of that inside leg. Really good. Straighten up at the end. Turn left. Into your medium trot. Evie is going to be jealous. She loves the medium trot. And go. Yeah, forward. Go tap for it, stop it. There you go. Keep it going. Good girl. You've got to ride from letter to letter. Then into your whole brain back at A. time to shine. Go a little bit quick in this hot ring back, so it's really important for you to make a counter, give with her reins, then allow back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into your counter transition. It comes up quick, these tests. Now get ready. Now show Linda. Good girl. Now transition back from the seat. Bring it back. Good. Now inside leg. Think about this jump to the cancer. Good. Thinking about every stride of your inside leg. Good. Really good. With Toti, it's making sure that he keeps a really clear stride behind his cancer. He also sometimes puts a little bit above the bit. So it's making sure he's looking up just to keep him around. 1, 2, 3. Good. Super. The walk strides in some today should be between 3 to 5 strides. And then just put on the retake. This really shows that you're close to your seat because you're able to lift the reins without them shooting forward and coming back at you for them to be nice and round. Then she's coming in, testing the change again. Now into your head. Head round up. Good girl. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now that your half turns are up. Good. Now make sure you do enough walk strides on here. Control. 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 Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping straight. Good girl. Well done. Ready for meeting cancer. Hands up back quickly. Good girl. Now a little bit more collection in your half turns and changes. Really good. Yeah, there you go. Do you feel that? Good. And then ready for that final slide. Now this is quite hard. It's the Olympic test. You're a little bit tired. The pony's a little bit tired. So this really tests, the foundations of the training. And they're able to stay on your feet even at the end of the test. Not that they expect the whole, because these ponies know now. They've done enough of these tests. Good girl. Well done. I see. Good girl. Well done. Hello everyone. So my name's Milly and I'm here with my sister Evie and our manager Susie, and tonight we're going to be watching on our horse Toti. So he is 18 and he is basically like, he's like our pride and joy really, and we've had him 6 years now. So we're just going to be showing you really a bit about vaulting. So anyone who hasn't seen it before will hopefully get a really good insight and learn a few new things. For a long time, he's been going for, I think about 14 years? No, 12 years I reckon. So he's been to World Championships with a senior squad. He's done a lot, and now he then got passed on to us as kind of like a training horse, just to slow down a bit, but he still does lots of shows, and we took him to Hughes this year in October. So Evie is just getting started now with some more exciting moves, just also to warm herself up. We take a little bit to acclimatise to being up there.
can't hide.
Now for the vaulting. So I transferred from vaulting to dressage, and obviously the complete dressage on its own, in about 2021, which was 4 years ago. In between I've done a time to run a bit of vaulting, but I'd say for the last 2 years I've probably only vaulted 2 or 3 times. So these guys have definitely put me to shame, but I'm going to have a little go. My husband is telling me off because I haven't been stretching, but we'll see. I'm now very much a dressage rider, so we'll see how this vaulting goes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask now.
Okay, so it's been a really busy evening so far, going through all the demos. We've just had a little break after vaulting, and now we're moving on to our last final sessions. We've got Eddie here in the PSG. Eddie used to live in Australia and moved over a few years ago, and she works at Classic Dressage, and this is her mare Siri that she owns herself. And then in about 20 minutes time I'm going to be hopping on Jill's to also be working on the PSG movements, and then my dad's going to finish it off with the finale on Lufada MVL.
Get right, she's off, don't worry, just let go. You got up? Yeah. You're in charge of the whip. You might shield one.
So we can just, through these little transitions, we can start to really make the drop. And now we start. We're going to do some tempies. Okay? So, we've done some single changes. How do we start tempies? So, we start tempies. Really, you can come down the long side. You can either do it down the 3/4 line or on the track. And I want you, when you're ready, to change to the right, then wait, and then when you're ready, change left. So how we start is we come onto a straight line, and we change one way, and then we wait. And when we feel the horse is balanced and straight, we then change the other way. And when they're balanced and straight, we change the other way. We're trying to wait, so we change from the same canter every time. And then what we do is, once we do that, we start putting them on a particular number. I change every 4 strides. So if you watch Ruby when she does this, is every time she gets to the 4th stride, she'll move her leg in between the changes, she'll keep the leg aid on. So she's going to start with the first one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Then go counter, counter. So we want 5 changes every 4 strides, and ideally we want the third change over X. So we're going to come onto the line. She's got to think about where she's going to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5. Good. And then every time she gets to the third stride, she moves the leg, and if he holds the leg on, that tells the horse there's another change coming up. When we finish the tempies, we relax the leg, so she's going to come straight, and 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5. Good. Well done. So just wait. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. Well done. Right, come down your 3/4 line. As anything other than an encouragement. Okay, it's not a disciplinary aid when we're riding. So when we use the stick, we're using it in a way that basically says if we tap, it means try harder at what I'm asking you to do. So if we're asking them to stand still, and they move, we can tap them and stand still. If we want a bit more trouble. And so within this, that's where Ruby picks up the whip, which I think she's now dropped, is that what we want to do is we want to hit the tempo, and then basically from the stick we say, now get the feet off the ground a little bit quicker. Right, now you're going to go diagonal. Good. So what we want them to do is not dwell with their feet on the floor. We want them to think about getting their feet off the ground quick. When a horse gets its feet off the ground quick, it makes it look more active. If we've got a horse that moves short and tight, we do the opposite. We actually got to try and slow them down and teach them to keep their feet on the ground a little bit longer, because we want a balance between leg speed and swing through the back. So with the young horses, so we've heard, if she gets too slow, we can go back rising for the leg speed. And then as soon as she commits, the introduction of the seat then starts to help create the swing. Right, we're going to do a half pass. So we're going to 3/4 line, and we're going to do the right half pass. Good. So long line, and then forward, and then sideways. Very good. So how do you ride a half pass? What you want to do is you want to think about the half pass is that you're trotting the line. So Ruby's going to do a half pass from the 3/4 line to S. So that's our line. So she's got to look at S, and then we want to think about like riding like a banana around the inside leg. So what she's got to do is I was saying before in the other half passes, is the more they question the shape, you open up the line, the less they question the shape, you open the line more difficult. Ruby, I want you to go down your 3/4 line.
So Jill's was absolutely amazing. We went all the way up to the one-time tempies, worked on the pirouettes, the zigzag from the PSG, and our trot work, showing off our very special trot extension. So yeah, she was just phenomenal, and she absolutely loved everyone watching. She was adoring it. So now we've handed off the mic to Naf to do a clean sport talk, and then it's my dad's time to do the finale on Lufada. So yeah.
She definitely loved everyone watching. Like she knew everyone was watching.
Lufada, and to help. She's owned by a lady called in Sweden. Lufada is a Lusitano, so she's the first She's the first Lusitano I've ever had. I've taught people on one, I've ridden the on one, but I've never actually had one, campaigned it. This is this zigzag, so I'm doing it in leg yield. And what I'm doing is I'm just testing. Good. How she sits up, how she changes there. So when she jumps nicely up forward, it sets my new direction up really easily. And what I have with her, I have a tendency is I get a nice change left to right, but right to left she dives through my leg. So I do lots of just testing that change. So I'll come over. Good. Because in the Grand Prix zigzag, we have to do it every 6 strides. Good go. So I'm going to come on the centre line. I'm going to collect. Good. Good. And then I'm going to turn. Good. And then I'm going to go straight. Forward change. And then I'm going to collect. And wait. Turn, start small, just got to keep the canter, good, good, and then look for the centre line, and I finish it. Good girl, well done. Perfect. And I've slowly been able to get it now. Good, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, where she's slowly now starting to stay more uphill, more with the ground cover. So again, holding the canter. I do a lot of just riding pairs, but I bring the pairs closer together. So again, just getting confidently cantering forward. So I go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Good. Stop. Good girl. Well done. So again, I do a lot with her. So we're going to come back. Good. And then forward. Away. Away. Good. And back. Keep coming. Good. So what she's doing, she's always waiting for me for the next question. Good. Back. She likes the earrings of the calf just to come behind me. Good. So I like just waiting. And then when I feel that she's waiting, good. I will let that look at. Good. Good girl. And again, what she wants to do is give me my curve, but she's I keep it quite travelling. So I go into the curve, forward. Just keep going, cold around a little bit. Go. And then we get the mark for the transition as well. Go. And walk a moment. Good. Good. Stop. Well done. Good. And then usually.
So now we've just wrapped up the demo. It's about 10 o'clock at night, so it's definitely a late one. It's been a super amazing evening. It's lovely to see everyone. Belle, how was your first ever demo experience?
So good. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
And now we're all packed up, ready to go home. Jules is truly tired and she's been the best girl. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's YouTube video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love ya. Bye.